what Israel is actually trying to achieve by killing kids.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't we go back to when 2005, when Gaza was given to the Palestinians? Why they didn't do something there?
If your mom, one second. If your mom gets raped today, I'm not going to say let's go back to 100 years ago when people did this and no. If your mom has been raped, you're not going to accept what happened 100 years ago. We're talking today when we're seeing scores of babies with limbs missing, and UN, Amnesty International, and all of these. Look, we can both have time. Yeah, you can give your point, I'll give my point, and we let the audience decide. My point is simple. If you look at the statistics, if you look at the evidence, Israel hasn't given a single evidence of a beheaded baby, of a baby in an oven, of women with their breasts cut off. These are lies that have constantly been peddled. However, when it comes to statistics that Israel has agreed, that Gaza, half of it are infants, and it's densely populated, and you know what? It's in war. It's what happens. They don't deny it. So I'm curious to know what angle you're bringing. Go ahead.
What is your point that there was no proof? That you're saying October 7th, nothing happened? There was no murders?
I didn't even mention October 7th.
Yeah, you said there was no raping, there was no breasts cut off, there was no children in ovens. What was your point in saying that?
My point in...
Are you saying that there was no atrocities that happened on October 7th?
No, what I'm saying is there's objective organizations that will give evidence that babies are being murdered in Gaza. Let me finish the point. Let me finish. You asked the question.
There was an attack on October 7th.
Sir. You've asked the question. I don't need to gish gallop and put three things my way. I'm going to answer them one by one. So you said, what did I mean? And it's a very media trained thing to say, jumping to October 7th and, oh, is this what you... No. I'm saying that when it comes to the infant mortality rate in Gaza, that's something that is statistically verifiable by objective organizations like the UN, the Gaza Health Ministry, Israel itself. Then the three, and if you go on social media, you go on credible journalists.
You're just talking, you're slowly.
Just give me 10 seconds then. Just give me 10 seconds. You're not
making a point.
No problem. Just give me another 15 seconds and I'll let you do the same thing. When it comes to what I've presented about children and infants being killed, I've given evidence. The three things that I mentioned about breasts being cut off, children put in ovens, beheaded babies, there's zero evidence of this.
Who cares? What difference does that make?
I care.
Why? What difference does that make?
Because
they raped women, they killed innocent people, they kidnapped people, innocent hostages. That's enough. I don't care if there was no rape of breasts were cut off. Who cares? They attacked a sovereign country.
Care.
Now they're going to get destroyed.
We care.
You think it's bad now? It's going to get 100 times worse. You know why? Because they shouldn't have started that. They could have built a very nice country. Since 2005, they've had sovereignty over that land, and they didn't do anything. They get millions and millions of dollars in aid, and what do? They built tunnels because they don't want a state.
They built tunnels.
The Jews to
Did
die.
they build the tunnels?
Stop lying to yourself.
Did they build the tunnels?
Yes, they built the tunnels.
But what about on CNN?
Hamas? Who elected Hamas?
Well, what about when on CNN, one of the higher ups came?
Have you ever been to Palestine?
Are you capable of listening to the answer when you ask a question?
Give me a direct answer.
Why do I have to give you a direct answer?
You just talk rubbish.
You didn't give a direct answer.
I did. I said,
frankly, that was garbage. I'm going to be honest.
Okay,
I've come to the park for a year, and that's the loudest drivel that I've heard in quite a while.
Because you have no response to it.
No, because what you said is absolutely incoherent.
What was incoherent?
No evidence was provided. Give me one evidence that you provided.
About what? The tunnels?
About what?
There's plenty of tunnels that have been blowing up.
But when you've got the scene...
Where were the hostages found? There were 6 murdered hostages that were shot in the back of the head last week.
Sir, the tunnels were built by Israel in Gaza.
Come on, get the fuck out of here. Israel built the tunnels? I'm talking to a moron. Get the fuck out of here. Don't worry, you're going to see what's going to happen to Palestinians. They fucked with the wrong country. Trust me.
Which country?
Yeah, exactly. With
Israel.
Yes,
Israel's not a country.
Yes,
it's Palestine.
It is a country.
It's Palestine.
Is fucking Bangladesh a country? Is Pakistan a country?
Yes, they're countries. Where do you come from?
Iran. I come from Iran.
Is it,
another Islamic country.
And what are they going to do to Iran? Come over here. What are they going to do to Iran? That's what happens. And just in case you want to know, on CNN, the higher ups came and said, oh, we built the tunnels. And then the anchor said, huh? Well, you built the tunnels. And then he goes, yeah, we built the tunnels, but then they continued afterwards. And then she goes, oh wait, I got taken aback with that one. It's there, you can search this up. CNN, Israel, building tunnels. Well, I mean, what else do we take from? What evidence is he really providing us? What, Israeli news? Israel.com? Israel.com/Benjamin Netanyahu? What evidence? I'm speaking evidence, and I'm willing to have this conversation if he wants to come back after he's had his hissy fit. No problem. Where's the sister?
Still waiting.
Oh, okay. Sister, you can... yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We're almost done, but we were in the topic of why.
I remember where we were.
For once.
Don't worry, I'm ready.
Okay.
You got it? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Hope you calm down a little bit.
I'm ready. I was born ready. I come speaker's corner ready. Alhamdulillah. The Palestinians are going through much worse things than this.
It's much worse.
Me doing this is nothing. If this perturbs me, then it means I'm not a man.
Perspective, right? Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.
They can come, no problem. So sister, I was saying, when women are courted by men, the system currently in place offers them no way to protect them. Yeah, in other words, they can be manipulated, they can be raped, and one night stands. This is something which is very common. Yeah, one night stands. So what we say is, when it comes to Islam understands that a man needs to be with a woman because Allah's created us. He's put testosterone within us. Allah's put certain desires within us. In fact, we're told that our test is women. But when it comes to women, their test is something different. Yeah, is preserving their chastity. Yeah, so my question sometimes to these people is, how are you protecting the women, and how are you offering the solutions to these sexually driven men in this age where you have people sleeping around because there is no solution? It's all well and good stating the problem, but let's talk solutions. Yeah, Islam says if you are able to get married to multiple, then you can do so. Yeah, but you must give them their rights. But what does the other system say? Oh, just chirps them, riz them, speak to them, and then do as you please, and then boom. If they become pregnant, then kill the baby, and apparently this is the best way to live. So my question to this person would be, when they say, I find it very difficult to accept polygyny, my question or my response to them would be, that's very surprising. Because I would say the same when it comes to your worldview at the moment, which offers no solutions. Islam offers a practical solution to the physical nature of man, physical nature of a woman, and the societal protecting the societal trouble that can come. For example, just imagine you're just sleeping around, you're pregnant, you kill the baby, no problem. And then also when you are in a relationship, because I'm studying counseling as well, one of the big issues that people have when they're coming with trauma is heartbreak. Yeah, heartbreak is not something that you can show. It's pain inside. And that's something that's very difficult for people to get over. And we're told in terms of many studies that if the husband and the wife, they split up because of adultery, the man and the woman are more likely to break the law. The children are more likely to be obese, drug addicts, harmful for society, and harbor trauma and all that sort of stuff. So in other words, breakdown of marriages and sleeping around has consequences for the man, for the woman, for the children, and for society at large, because you just can't trust the person. Yeah? So what Islam brings in is, that's fine, you can get married, but somebody will have a one-night stand, they won't tell anyone. With marriage, you need at least 2 witnesses. Bring 2 witnesses, you can't do it in secret. No. People need to know. If tomorrow there's question about if your child is illegitimate or legitimate, bring the 2 witnesses. Bring the imam, the one who conducted the ceremony. So there are fail-safes in place. So I would say, sister, this argument is actually in favor of Islam. It actually proves the veracity and the practicality of Islam, as opposed to the opposing view, which offers no solutions.
Yeah, I think I understand when you explain it to me, but I feel like it just have a bad rap because people who does this, normally they're not educated, they are poor, and I don't say it in a demeaning way. I'm just saying it as in using it as an excuse
Yes.
that they can marry for. Like sometimes in Singapore, you don't see this often. It's quite a firstful country. Everybody's literate, everybody's educated, so they know that to marry two, you got to take care of her financially, physically, everything. And as we all know, I'm a wife. You marry one wife is quite a headache already. So marry two or three is a blessing also. But when I see this sometimes in deep rural areas, right, where they're always having four wives and thousands of kids, and they are not educated, and they can't even feed one wife.
But here's the interesting thing. You know, when you're looking at rural areas, then the issue is not to do with the religion. The issue is to do with the socio-economic position of those people and of that country. I'll give you an example. In certain rural areas, in certain countries, the infant mortality is very high. So for them, if they have 5 children or 5 babies or infants, from those 5, only 2 will survive. So for them, it makes sense to have multiple. And on top of that, because in those cultures and societies, it's not viable for women to work because they're very labor intensive. In certain rural areas, it's farming, it's mining, it's oil rigs and all that sort of stuff. It's not befitting place for a woman. So men will be working, and even if they bring home a very small wage, many women, because even statistically there are more women than men, and even as the projection of the populations, they're showing that women are projected to increase as opposed to men. So this is what I'm saying. In order for those women to have taste of a marriage, to be with another man, again, it's the duty of their family to make sure that that man can take care of them. But for some of them, it's either she sits at home and rots, that's how some people describe it, or she marries somebody and just has a degree of life, even if the bar is set very low.
And thank you very much. You explain it well when it comes to like the rural areas and everything, because people who are not there, we can't see it, right? All I can see is like, why are you marrying 4 when you can't feed 1? And it gives Islam such a bad name. And when someone asks me, I don't know how to explain to them, but now that you explain it so beautifully, at least of course my husband is still not gonna marry 2, just kidding. but at least I understand where it's coming from, and it's not coming from a place of greed. It's also protecting the woman, like you said. If he wants to have a one-night stand with another woman, if he wants to marry that woman, at least the first woman knows what's going on. And if he wants to divorce, even Islam protects the woman, where you have to still take care of the woman.
Let me give you a statistic. And this again was on CNN, even though that guy was very allergic to CNN.
So if you allow me to say something, I'm from Saudi Arabia, and I have 10 uncles. No one of them has more than 1 wife. Because it's too difficult, even the Muslims countries. It's not that something common in Saudi Arabia. Unless if you are able, physically, financially. In that case, if you are able, go ahead for it.
I think you're right. Like when people debate, right, that's the easiest thing they can bring it up. So, and that's something that I was curious.
Here's the other thing as well. By 2024, there was a study done by Morgan Stanley. And they said that by 2030, it's 2024 now, by 2030, in about 6 years, 45% of the women will be single from the ages of 25 to 44. So that gives an example that Islam looks at the picture, we look at the pixel, small thing. And if I was to give you a very simple response to these people when they say, I'm finding it difficult to accept Islam because of marrying 4 wives, you say marrying 4 wives does not disprove God. So even if marrying 4 wives is there, does that mean that that disproves God? does that mean that the scripture is invalid? Does that mean that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is not the final messenger anymore? So that works on the presumption that a person is accepting that there is a God, that the Quran is true, and that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is also true as well. So what you want to do is you want to bring him to the crux of the matter, which is, do you believe in God? Yeah, and that's where the crux of the issue lies. Because if you believe in God, then you accept that there is revelation and prophethood, then it follows that what comes from there must be logical. Now we can look into the socio-economic views and statistics and stuff like that. Because this, sister, the Morgan Stanley study, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning.
When I think about it, it's so beautiful. Islam is so beautiful because it gives timeless solution, right? It's created way long ago, but it's already predicting these are the future problems, and that itself gives me so much peace knowing that.
And here's another thing as well. You know, when certain people get married to multiple wives in these rural areas, the problem and issue there is that because people are struggling hand to mouth, either that woman, she stays at home, and if she's not working, she's seen as a boj. She's seen as like a burden. Yeah. So this is a way of honoring her. And sometimes a man will say, I don't have this much, I can't earn this much, but if you want to come, these are the conditions. They will accept fewer criteria. They will set the bar very low. Why? Because of where they are and in their survival. So that's why it's very important for us to distinguish between what a society does, what a people does, what people do, and what the Islamic teachings are in the primary source. Primary source, Islam caps it off to 4. Islam says if you can do justice. However, implementation, you can't now conflate a person that's implementing Islam, that's trying to implement Islam, to what Islam says. I'll give you an example.
But my friend,
for example, he's a Christian, He's a Christian. One second, he's the friend of that lady.
Most of the Muslim ladies, they are given a false...
sister, he's the friend of that lady.
False understanding, and they were proposed by giving a false understanding and false teaching. So they accepted as a wife.
What do you mean by false teaching?
False teaching means
false teaching.
Yeah, false teaching. Yeah, given a false teaching like Muhammad is the final prophet. Whereas Muhammad is, according to Quran, is a false prophet.
Oh, how did you know that?
According to Quran, he is a false prophet.
How did you know that?
Even the Quran says Muhammad is a false prophet.
Muhammad.
Yeah.
Okay, so, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Most of the Muslims
but here's the
they understand.
sister. What's interesting is we're talking about one second. We're talking about relationships, right? And in relationships, for him to contribute, he has to give me a principle from the Bible that competes with a principle from the Quran, and I will help him. Because if he shows that from the Bible, women, if they get beaten senseless by their husband, can he prove from the Bible that they can get a divorce? That's all he has to do. Oh,
What is that?
what is this? Yeah.
I can prove that Aisha was hit by Muhammad on her chest, and the case.
But you can't answer my question.
Case was dismissed.
So you can't answer this.
Muhammad was a powerful man.
But you can't answer this.
Muhammad was a powerful man, and Aisha was a weak
So
woman.
if your Christian woman gets beaten by you,
she was not
senseless,
given.
can she divorce you? Can your Christian wife divorce you if you beat her?
Not given.
If you beat your Christian wife senseless, can she get divorced from you? Show me from the Bible.
What is it?
What is this?
Yes.
Christian women are not beaten by any Christian.
If they do, can they get divorced? Show me from the Bible.
No.
Oh, they can't get divorced. Well, there you go.
No.
No divorce for her.
No divorce.
No
Unless
divorce.
the woman is seen with another man
Oh.
having adultery.
If my husband beat me, I cannot. If my husband beat me,
No,
and
just
I
beat.
go-
If he beats you senseless,
I
But-
cannot divorce.
but-
no
there-
divorce. Every
you
day,
can-
every day he
you
beats you
can
senseless.
Go to your priest
what?
and
The priest will do what?
make your case.
So he will change the Bible.
Or you can go to
The priest will change the Bible.
Make your case.
But I can. But I can. He
You
cannot.
cannot divorce.
Wait. Her reaction is
You can only
perfect.
divorce if you are corrupt.
I'm corrupted.
You can only divorce at that time. But since you are a good lady, you
Who
are
gets
a-
beaten every single day?
Don't say anything.
No.
No
it's
divorce.
not
No,
Islam.
no divorce.
Not in Islam.
No divorce. No
Christianity is not
divorce.
Islam.
No divorce.
Christianity is not Islam.
Only priest divorce.
So Christian women will not be beaten.
So no Christian
If they
woman
will
gets
be
beaten.
beaten,
No Christian
then-
woman gets
Then
beaten.
the husband will
No
be
Christian woman gets
behind the
beaten.
bar.
Can you tell me no Christian woman
Then
gets
the husband
beaten?
will be
You can't tell
behind the
me.
bar.
Do Christian women get beaten?
So even if
If they are beaten,
Yes.
if they are being beaten,
Senseless every day.
then husband has to be behind the bar.
Oh, but she can't divorce.
No.
Oh, no. Don't do this. Don't do this.
I understand. So
Don't do
my
this.
husband beat me up. I'm a Christian. My husband, for example, I'm a Christian. My husband beat me up. He goes to jail for 20 years. I have to wait because I cannot get a divorce.
Oh.
I cannot start a new life.
That's a good point.
If you are going to be for a
If my-
20-year
if my
single,
hus- if my husband goes to prison
Yeah.
because he beats me up, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
I as a woman, I cannot get divorced and I cannot start.
Ask the sister if she wants to discuss with you, she has to ignore her.
No, but this is good. Trust me.
So I have to stay.
That's
and
a good
just
point.
accept it.
no. If the probation is longer than
10 years.
5 years,
Yeah.
then you can make up your mind.
Ask him if this is in the Bible. Is this in the Bible?
Then you can make up your mind.
Is this in the Bible?
You can go and talk to the priest.
Oh, the priest again. Oh, you must speak to the priest.
They will decide.
Oh, okay. So they will help me.
They will help you.
They will help the woman decide. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Does that put your heart at ease?
Very. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye bye. Thanks, guys. It's been amazing.
Thank you, sister.
May Muslim not deceive you. May Muslim not deceive you.
So you told her.
Giving the false revelation of Quran.
So sister, just out of curiosity, because some people might think that what he said is convincing to you. As a woman, is it remotely convincing that if your husband beats you senseless, day in, day out,
No.
to a pulp, and then you want to get divorced from him, the only way that you can do it is by going to a priest. Does that fill you with a sense of comfort?
Of course not. Like, we have brains. We know when to leave, and we should have the right to leave. I don't need to ask another man permission to leave that person. Yeah.
And 20 years, if you're, 5 years, let's just say 5 years he's in prison, he told you have to wait. How does that make you feel?
wanna move on.
You know what he's telling you have to wait for?
Okay.
You have to wait for your next beating.
Yes.
So he's saying wait. So in other words, use the TCP, Dettol, recover.
He just told me if I'm truly loving, I can forgive.
Aha, the other cheek. Other cheek.
If you are
If I-
truly loving, you will.
Okay, listen. If I slap you right now, will you turn the other cheek?
Why should unnecessarily you slap me?
Will you show the other cheek?
No. Unnecessarily.
Do
if
I have to go
if
to a
you
priest?
Slap me, I will slap you.
Oh, it goes against the Bible. Bible says if you get slapped on one cheek, give the other cheek. He's going against the Old Testament, the Bible? No.
You are misinterpreting
Aha.
the Bible.
So the Bible doesn't
You
say
are
show the other cheek.
misinterpreting the Bible.
It doesn't say show the other cheek.
Unnecessarily.
It doesn't say show
If
the other
you
cheek.
are beating me unnecessarily.
No, if I'm doing
then
it necessarily.
You
If I'm doing it necessarily.
deserve my slap also.
Oh, so he's not going to follow the Bible, ladies and gentlemen.
I will not
Oh,
spare
the Bible doesn't work
I
here.
will not spare you.
Should we go to the priest
I
for
will
that?
not spare you.
So
See?
sister, this is a
See,
very good
you are-
example.
Thank you.
You
that
are
this is what Islam
destroying.
preaches,
Right.
and this is what they're offering.
Thank you so much. Thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much. Okay,
Take
have a
it
nice
easy.
day.
You too.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
So don't be deceived, sister. Don't be deceived by Muslims.
Turn the other
Muslims
cheek.
are-
Turn the other
Muslims are
cheek.
Deceiver.
Make a line here.
Muslims are deceiver here.
People slap you and you give the other cheek.
Muhammad is the biggest deceiver.
Show the other cheek, my friend.
Biggest deceiver.
Show the other
was
cheek.
The biggest deceiver.
Show the other cheek.
And Allah even gave others wife.
How are your family in India doing?
Others wife in marriage.
How are things in India going?
Even the son-in-law
How's Modi?
cannot be spared.
How's Modi?
Even the son-in-law
How's Modi?
of wife cannot be spared.
Uncle, do you need any
So Allah is so unjust. So Allah is so unjust. Giving